Thank you for tuning in to the BizNation podcast. My name is Kerry Zarb, and I've been helping business owners just like you go from headache to heaven in a heartbeat for over 20 years. I'll be giving you all the top advice for getting started in your business, but I'll also be speaking with some of the best business minds to inspire you with valuable insights to help you get ahead in your business. If you've ever hit a roadblock or lost your passion, then this is the podcast for you. Welcome to the BizNation podcast. I'm Kerry and this is episode 56. Good morning, good afternoon or good evening. It's great to be back again with another solo episode, especially designed for you, the business owner. So today's topic is, when do we charge for a favour? As the self-employed expert in your field, we are often asked for favours from our family and friends. It's a nice feeling. Our closest humans consider us for their needs and often either pass on our details or reach out to us for someone else that they know. This can be family, friends, sometimes even acquaintances. Some favours can actually lead to paid work, other referrals and new jobs coming in when speaking to the referred. But when do the favours stop and when does the charging begin? We've all had those moments when a family member wants us to help them out. This is often a quick job, but sometimes it can lead to hours of your time. These family members either know this is going to cost them a decent amount of funds and they come to us to save that money, or sometimes it's a trust factor. Sometimes they come to us because they trust us and they trust the advice or the service that we're going to give them. It can even be a product. Some families, though, are quite large and there might be immediate family members, but then it extends to the in-laws and the cousins and the friends, and the list goes on. Sometimes it's even the neighbour down the road for the last 20 years. Sometimes we need to put a limit on the favours. Sometimes we need to rein in our family and friends. Sometimes it gets a little bit awkward as to when we actually ask to not ask, we're actually going to tell them that we're going to charge them. So this will depend on your industry. This will depend on the kind of work that you do, services, products, all that kind of stuff needs to be considered, and look at your own circumstances and the position that you're in and what you feel comfortable with. But also consider that you're in business to make money. And sometimes if some of those favours end up taking up paid time, we've got to factor that in as well. Sometimes if one of our family members or our friends or the neighbour down the road wants something done a little bit quicker, we can't sacrifice the paid time for the favour time. So this is another way of looking at it, saying to someone, I'd love to help you, but I probably can't get to that for like 2 or 3 weeks. And really making sure that they understand that you actually charge people for your services or your product. Another common problem that we hit is, how do you have that hard conversation? If someone wants something quite quickly and they can't wait and it's quite urgent, particularly in the service-based business, how do we have that conversation and say to that relative, family, friend, whatever the circumstance might be, how do we have the conversation to say, I'm going to have to charge you? When do the favours stop? When does the charging begin? This can be awkward, but it can actually be as awkward as you make it. If you turn it into a plain conversation, this is business, it's not personal. Try to not bring the personal into the business space, but also having a firm conversation to say, I'm really sorry, I'm trying to help you as much as I possibly can, but I've run out of favour time. I actually need to charge you for my time because you might be in high demand, your time might be limited, you've got other clients that are sometimes just the same kind of extension on the friend side of things that you actually charge for your services. So it's a really good idea not to let the favours get out of control and make sure that you rein it in as soon as possible. By all means, help out, those that are closest to you. And this could be a case of, personal circumstances of the relationship with the person. You might have someone that hasn't necessarily treated you well in the past, and you might want to consider that you're not prepared to do favours for that person. Sometimes it can be a circumstance where someone we know, someone that we will help with favours, actually refers us to so many other people. They might be so well connected that they're out there flying our flag for us. So then you've got to contemplate, well, how much time am I going to spend versus it's like the return on investment discussion. How much time am I spending on favours for this person versus how much they're flying me my flag and how much business I'm getting from their word of mouth. So there's lots of assessments to do in the favour space, and sometimes we need to, case by case, look at each circumstance and decide how we feel and what we're comfortable with. It could be a distant cousin actually telling you, I'm out there flying the flag, and then you need to be asking your clients, where did you hear about me? Where did you come from? Have those conversations as well, because if you're doing a lot of favours for family and friends, you want to know that they're actually out there flying your flag, but also that people are coming to you from those recommendations. So it's just something to track in the background. Keep in the back of your mind. Don't start a spreadsheet. I have a spreadsheet, but I would not start a spreadsheet. You don't want to overanalyze this space. But certainly keep in mind that if they're out there flying the flag, it is bringing you business. It's worth continuing that relationship, but keeping a fair balance as well, depending on the size of the job that they're asking you to do, depending on the time commitment and whether you're able to invest that favour time commitment is another aspect of the favour space. But you know what? Sometimes we need to have the hard conversations. Sometimes we need to turn around to these people asking favours and say, I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore. I've got other paid clients that take priority over doing favours. I'm just not going to get to your favour anytime soon. I'd love to help you, but unless you wanted to pay me for it, you're in the back of the queue. And sometimes just saying it exactly like that, you're going to be waiting a really long time because I have to preference my paid clients over helping out my family, friends or other connections. Sometimes being that honest, people will understand. And most of the time, our family and friends don't even make the equation. They're not business owners. They don't know what's going on. They don't understand sometimes the time commitment as well. So it may not necessarily be that they're consciously even asking for the favour. Sometimes they might not even think to mention paying you for the favour. So just keep in mind who you're dealing with, the relationship you have, and how you want to be known in your personal life as well as, your family life. All that kind of stuff has to come into play. I think I've waffled on about this for enough for today. So I hope that this has helped. I hope that if you are in that circumstance that you can have those tougher conversations with your family, friends or extended colleagues, and certainly help you bring this back together in your business before it gets out of control. I can't wait to share the next episode with you guys, and I will chat to you really soon. Thank you for tuning in to the BizNation podcast. It was lovely to share this episode with you. Remember to subscribe to catch all future episodes, and I'd also very much love it if you'd leave me a rating or a review. Until next time, remember that you can also go from headache to heaven in a heartbeat.